All right, now we're going to do the pluperfect tense. This is lesson 9. Now you'll notice I've left up here my stuff from lesson 8 because I'm going to use it for lesson 9 as well. So if you were watching lesson 8, you heard me say that there's the what we call the perfect system, and the 3 conjugations that go into that one are the perfect tense, the pluperfect tense, and the future perfect tense. You learned the the perfect tense in lesson 8. Now you're going to learn the pluperfect, which literally means kind of like more than perfect, right? Or like plus, right? And this one is actually really easy because you're actually not going to learn anything new. You're going to take stuff you've already learned and put it in a different place. So, for example, we have amav, 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 amav. So, again, if we're going to do any of these verbs, whether it's, even down this one, down here. So, akuso, if I were to do that in present tense, it'd be akuso, akusas, akusat, akusamus, akusatsit, akusant. But if I wanted to do the perfect, and of course in all those I was using the present tense with the present stem in the present system. But if I want to do the perfect tense, I would do akuso, akusare, akusavi, akusatus. And I would take the third principal part for akuso and have akusavi, which is fine, the third principal part. And then I drop the I, and I'd have akusavi, right? So in case that wasn't clear in my last lesson, you do this to any of these verbs and any of the verbs that you've learned in the past if you're going to do any of these in the perfect tense or in the perfect system. And of course, remember the perfect system means the perfect tense, the pluperfect tense, or the future perfect tense. So let me show you what we would do with this one. So if I wanted to do the pluperfect, and I've got amare, or amo amare, I'm going to take the third principal part, I'm going to drop the I, which means I'm left with amav. And same as last time and same as always, I write it 3 times for the singular form, and I write it 3 times for the plural form. And then I'm going to add my pluperfect tense endings. Now I'm going to read these through and see if you can figure out why I'm saying there's nothing new here. Eram, era, serat, erama, serat, si, serat. You're right. You probably said, hey, that sounds exactly like the perfect tense sum from lesson 5, and that is what it is. It's actually the imperfect tense of sum. Eram, era, serat, erama, serat, si, serant. You're going to take those endings, stick them on the perfect stem, and now instead of saying eram, I was, eras, you were, erat, he, she, it was, now when you stick them on, they become something different, which can be a little confusing. If you try to think too hard about it, but just accept that on its own, means I was, you were, he, she, it was. When you stick them onto here, they now become the pluperfect. And the helping verb for this one, as you can see, is had. If you see the word had, you're using the pluperfect. Okay? If you see have, has, or did, it's the perfect. Okay? Has, perfect. Had, pluperfect. Okay, that's the only thing that I think might confuse people. And so we have had, and so this would mean I had loved, you had loved, he had loved, she had loved, or it had loved. And so, and notice it does have loved, it does have ed at the end. So, but it's had loved. If it's, so amaveram would be I had loved. If the had wasn't there, and it was just I loved, then it would be amavi, lesson 8, perfect tense, okay? That word had, if you see it, then you have to do this tense, the pluperfect tense. So if you just keep that straight and see had, pluperfect, then and always do that, you'll always get it right, at least as long as you conjugate correctly and put them in the right spot. And then, of course, aramarasarat, aramus, eratsis, erat. So what is the pluperfect tense? When do we use it? Pluperfect tense is formed by an pluperfect here. The pluperfect describes a past action completed prior to another past action. Caesar had conquered the Gauls before he crossed the Rubicon. Right? So you have this conquering the Gauls. If you ever read the descriptions of that, it's quite brutal. So he conquers the Gauls first and then crosses the Rubicon with his army, and the war starts, of course, in Pompeii, right? So, but you see how it's something happened first before that other thing. I had finished my homework when the doorbell rang, right? The pluperfect tense is translated in English by the helping verb had. Got it? Right. So that is the pluperfect tense. That's lesson 9. All right.